Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Good morning. Have a sweet and colorful day. I hope all of you will be fine, safe, and protected at your homes. Let's start our today's lecture. The topic is trends in solubility and thermal stability of group 2 compounds. In this slide, we will discuss what is solubility, factors affecting solubility of ionic compounds, lattice energy, lattice energy and solubility, hydration energy and solubility of group 2 compounds, which includes hydroxides, sulfates, and carbonates. Further, we will study what is thermal stability, what are the factors that will affect thermal stability, trends of thermal stability of group 2 compounds, thermal decomposition of group 2 compounds. Now, what is solubility? Definition. The term solubility is defined as maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in the given amount of solvent. In this picture, solute is the substance being dissolved, that is the powder. Solvent is the dissolving agent, that is water. Now we will discuss what are the factors that are going to affect the solubility of ionic compounds. There are two main factors which are going to affect the solubility of an ionic compound. They are lattice energy, hydration energy. Let us discuss them one by one. Lattice energy. The lattice energy of a crystalline substance refers to the amount of energy released when 1 mole of the ionic substance is produced from its ions in the gaseous state. This is the definition of lattice energy, and this is the equation that oppositely charged ions in the gaseous state, they are combining together to produce 1 mole of an ionic solid. Lattice energy in this particular case, in which the formation of ionic compound is taking place, is shown with the negative sign. That means that the energy is being released. In a lattice that consists of cations and anions with charges Z plus and Z minus between ionic distance R plus and R minus, the lattice energy can be expressed using the following relation. So this is the relationship in which we will discuss the factors which are going to affect the solubility, which are going to affect the lattice energy. Like you can see over here, that lattice energy, it is directly related with the charges, magnitude of the charges on the two ions, and inversely proportional to the distance between the two ions. That means the radius of the cation and the radius of the anion, they are both going to affect the magnitude of lattice energy. Okay, how the lattice energy is going to affect the solubility and the stability. Keep one thing in your mind, that the lattice energy, it depicts the stability of an ionic compound as well. Higher the lattice energy, that means more negative or more exothermic. Higher the lattice energy, higher will be the stability of the ionic compound which is formed. Higher lattice energy means that much more energy is required to break the strong electrostatic forces between the two oppositely charged ions. जैसा कि आप इस इक्वेशन में देख रहे हैं कि oppositely charged ions, they are combining together to form 1 mole of the ionic compound. इसकी जो heat है, lattice energy, it is shown with the negative sign. But if the reverse process is taking place, that you are going to decompose this ionic compound, so this much amount of energy, then in that case you need to supply. ठीक है, तो if more energy is released, that means that more amount of energy is required to decompose this particular ionic compound. So the stability of the ionic compound, it is directly related with the amount of the lattice energy. Greater the lattice energy, greater will be the stability of the ionic compound. So this is the important thing you should note, that stability of the ionic compound is directly proportional to lattice energy. Lattice energy is greater, the stability of the ionic compound is also greater. And how it is going to affect the solubility? If the lattice energy is higher, solubility will be less. We can say that the solubility of an ionic compound, it is inversely proportional to lattice energy. As you know that it is the amount of energy required to break the ionic compound as well. If the lattice energy is high, the large amount of heat will be used in overcoming the electrostatic force of attraction. So if the lattice energy is high, the solubility will be less. So you kindly note down one more important thing, that lattice energy and the solubility, they are inversely proportional to one another. Okay, ये आप जहन में रखें कि अगर ज़्यादा अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड होगी आयनिक कंपाउंड को ब्रेक करने के लिए, उससे क्रिस्टल लैटिस को ब्रेक करने के लिए, तो ऑफ कोर्स सॉलिबिलिटी लेस हो जाएगी. तो सॉलिबिलिटी एंड लैटिस एनर्जी, दे आर इनवर्सली रिलेटेड टू वन अनदर. Now the second important factor which we are going to discuss is hydration energy. Hydration energy, or heat of hydration, it is defined as the energy released when 1 mole of gaseous ions is hydrated by water molecules to form an infinite dilute solution under standard conditions. This is the proper definition of heat of hydration. For cation, once the crystal lattice of the ionic compound is broken down, then next stage is the hydration. That is, the particular number of water molecules, they will surround the ion. Like you can see, M plus in the gaseous phase, once the crystal lattice is broken down, M plus and X minus is formed, cation and anion, they are splitted, and then water molecules, they surround and form an intermolecular force with the ion, that is the ion dipole force. So this is the hydrated cation, this is the hydrated anion, and of course as the intermolecular forces are being created, आपको नज़र आ रहा है यहाँ पर कि इंटरमोलिकुलर फोर्सेस क्रिएट होंगी, जिसकी वजह से heat of hydration is always exothermic. That means that energy is always released because it involves the formation of an intermolecular force between the cation or anion and water molecule. Hydration energy is always exothermic since it involves the attraction of ions in the solute for water molecule. Similar to lattice energy, its magnitude depends upon. Now we will discuss on what factors the hydration energy depends. It also depends upon the two factors. One is the charge of the ion and the other is the size of the ion. Charge of the ion is directly related with the magnitude of hydration energy. If the charge of the ion is higher, the greater will be the heat of hydration. This is one more important thing that you have to note down, that hydration energy is directly proportional to the charge on the ion. This is due to more heat energy is released as stronger bond is formed. अगर चार्ज ज़्यादा होगा तो वाटर के साथ उसका एक stronger bond create होगा, so that's why more energy will be released. And how size of the ion is going to affect the magnitude of hydration energy? That is, the smaller the ion, the greater is the heat of hydration and more heat is released. So we can say that hydration energy and lattice energy both are dependent upon the same factors. Both are directly related with the charge of the ion. Both are inversely related with the size of the ion. And how hydration energy is going to affect the solubility? Hydration energy is directly related with the solubility of the ionic compound. As we have discussed in the previous slide, that lattice energy and the solubility of the compound is inversely related, but in the case of hydration energy, it is directly related with the solubility. That means greater the hydration energy, greater will be the solubility. Now we will discuss these three things: solubility, lattice energy, and hydration energy. Lattice and hydration energies are also important in predicting solubility of ionic solids in water. Ionic compounds with smaller lattice energy and high hydration energy tends to be more soluble in water. Using Hess law, the relationship between heat of solution, heat of hydration, and lattice energy can be explained using the chart below. As you can see that the first step in dissolution of the ionic compound is the broken up of the crystal lattice of the ionic compound. Breaking of crystal lattice involves the energy that is known as the lattice energy. Um, then hydration energy is the hydration of the ions to form aqueous hydrated ions. In this particular case, this energy is positive. That means you have to supply the energy in order to break the crystal lattice into its ions. And then ionic compound dissociation into oppositely charged ions. It involves the expenditure of energy, and once the ions are formed, they are hydrated and converted into aqueous ions. So delta H solution, heat of solution, it depends upon the magnitude of lattice energy and hydration energy. The lattice energy is shown with the positive sign, and the hydration energy, it is shown with the negative sign. A salt is soluble in water if its delta H solution is negative or exothermic. This happens when the salt has a high hydration energy and a low lattice energy. The more negative the enthalpy of solution is, the more soluble will be the salt. More negative ये कब होगी? जब आपकी ये negative वाली energy इस positive वाली energy से exceed कर जाएगी. Sorry, there is a mistake over here. It is shown with a positive sign. Lattice energy is shown with a positive sign over here, and it is heat of hydration is shown with a negative sign. Solubility of the hydroxides. We will now discuss the solubility of the hydroxides, then sulfates, and then carbonates. Group 2 metal hydroxides, they become more soluble in water as you go down the group. As we know that the lattice energy and the hydration energy, they both depends upon the same factors, that is the charge to size ratio. So we can say that on moving down the group, that lattice energy, it is decreasing as the size of the ion is increasing, and same is the case with the hydration energy, that it is increasing as we go down the group because the size of the ion is increasing. As we know that lattice energy and the hydration energy, they are both dependent upon the same factors, so we can say that both of these decreases as we move down the group. So we have to look forward that which factor is the most dominating, and we have to consider. If the lattice energy is decreasing more, then we will consider the lattice energy factor, and we will answer the solubility of the that particular compound by looking at the magnitude of its lattice energy. But if the hydration energy it is decreasing more, then in that particular case you have to look at the hydration energy only. So in the case of hydroxides, the lattice energy it is decreasing more as compared to the hydration energy. जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया कि दोनों सेम फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंडेंट हैं, lattice energy and hydration energy both are dependent upon the same factors, that is the charge to size ratio. जब आप किसी भी ग्रुप में ऊपर से नीचे मूव करते हैं, like in particular group which we are discussing is the group 2, from beryllium to Barium, when we move down the group, the size of the ion is increasing, the charge is the same, plus 1. So due to increase in the size, the lattice energy is also decreasing and the hydration energy is also decreasing. So if we consider the decrease in the lattice energy, अगर आप lattice energy के decrease को consider करेंगे तो in that particular case answer हमारा होगा कि solubility ionic compounds की या solubility इस particular compound की decrease करेगी, sorry increase करेगी. But if you are considering the hydration energy, so decrease in hydration energy means that the solubility of that compound will decrease. The larger the lattice energy, the more energy it takes to break the lattice apart into metal and hydroxide ions. Since the atomic radii is increasing down the group, it makes sense that the coordination numbers also increases, because the larger the metal ion, the more room there is for water molecules to coordinate to it. You are looking at the lattice energy values that it is decreasing. As the amount of lattice energy is decreasing, the solubility of the hydroxides of the group 2 element, it is increasing. That is, you can say that among these two factors, the lattice energy decrease is more dominant. So we will consider that. The following examples illustrate this trend. Magnesium hydroxides appears to be insoluble in water. However, if it is shaken in water and filtered, the solution is slightly basic. This indicates that there are more hydroxide ions in solution than they were in the original water. This is because some magnesium hydroxides has dissolved. Calcium hydroxide is referred to as lime water. A liter of pure water will dissolve about 1 gram of calcium hydroxide at room temperature. Barium hydroxide is soluble enough to produce a solution with a concentration around 0.1 mole per dm cube at room temperature. Okay, as you can see that in the case of hydroxides, the lattice energy is decreasing, the hydration energy is increasing. Why? Because of the increase in the coordination number of the ion in this particular case. So we will consider the lattice energy factor decrease more pronounced, more important, which is responsible for the increase in the solubility of the hydroxides when we move from beryllium to barium. So barium hydroxide will be highly soluble, beryllium hydroxide will be least soluble. Now we will discuss the solubility of the sulfates and then later on the carbonates. The solubility of the sulfates decreases down the group because the hydration energy of the ions, it decreases more rapidly than the lattice energies with the increasing ionic size. As I have told you earlier, that among these two factors, one will be dominating. In the case of hydroxides, when the anion size is comparatively smaller, OH minus 1, the lattice energy decrease is more prominent. The lattice energy is decreasing more rapidly as compared to the hydration energy. So you will answer your query in terms of the lattice energy. But when the anion is bulky, when the anion is larger, that means SO4 minus 2. In that particular case, the decrease in hydration energy is more rapid as compared to lattice energy. So the trend of the solubility is inverse in this particular case. The lattice energies of the group 2 sulfates decreases relatively slower because the magnitude depends upon the R plus plus R minus. As you know that lattice energy, it is inversely related with the radius of the cation and radius of anion. But in this particular case, in the case of sulfate, as the anion is too big, So R-1 is very high and it is too big कि आप R प्लस को इसमें मतलब जब डालते हैं तो कोई इतना ज़्यादा चेंज नहीं आता. Look, R plus R minus does not show any significant increase down the group. The lattice energy does not decrease very much from magnesium sulfate to barium sulfate. On the other hand, जैसा कि मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ कि लैटिस एनर्जी जो है वो उसका चेंज नहीं आ रहा इतना ज़्यादा. द रीज़न वॉज कि जो आपका A9 है दैट इज़ टू बिग और उसकी वजह से जो आप के टाइम का ऐड करते हैं तो कोई इतना सिग्निफिकेंट चेंज नहीं आ रहा साइजेस के अंदर जिससे लैटिस एनर्जी इतनी ज़्यादा डिक्रीज़ हो. लेकिन दूसरी तरफ अगर हम देखें तो मैग्नीशियम का साइज़ छोटा है. स्मॉल साइज ऑफ मैग्नीशियम मीन्स हाई चार्ज डेंसिटी ऑफ मैग्नीशियम विच रिजल्ट्स इन द big hydration energy, and then hydration energy will decrease when we move from magnesium to barium, and as a result, because there is a significant increase in the size of the cations down the group, so we will say that beryllium sulfate is highly soluble and barium sulfate is least soluble, means insoluble among the sulfates of the group 2 elements. The solubility of sulfate, the trend of the solubility of sulfate is inverse than the trend of the solubility of the hydroxide. In the case of hydroxide, the lattice energy was decreasing more rapidly, but in the case of the sulfates, the hydration energy is decreasing more rapidly, which ultimately results in the decrease of the solubility when we move down the group. Like you can see that in the graph, in the case of sulfates of group 2 elements, the hydration energy decrease is more rapidly as compared to the lattice energy decrease. Solubility of the carbonates. The carbonates become less soluble down the group. All the group 2 carbonates are very sparingly soluble. Magnesium carbonate, for example, has the solubility of about 0.02 gram per 100 gram of water at room temperature. The trend of the solubility of the carbonates is similar to the trends of the sulfates. Same story, that hydration energy decrease is more rapid as compared to the lattice energy. There is little data for beryllium carbonate, but as it reacts with water, the trend is obscured. The trend to lower solubility is, however, broken at the bottom of the group. Barium carbonate is slightly more soluble than strontium sulfate, so there are no simple examples of this trend. Okay, now we will discuss thermal stability of these group 2 compounds. Thermal stability refers to the resistance of a compound to decomposition on heating. Thermal stability describes how easily a compound can be broken down by heat. The higher the thermal stability of a compound, the higher is the temperature needed to decompose it. That means that thermal stability and the decomposition temperature, they are directly related with one another. If a compound is thermally stable, if a compound is more thermally stable, the decomposition of temperature of that particular compound will be higher. Now we will discuss what are the factors which are going to affect the thermal stability. The thermal stability of ionic compounds depends upon charges and the size of the ions. Factors affecting thermal stability: compound with large polarizable polyatomic anion, means which have thick or large electronic cloud. The thermal stability depends upon the polarizing power of the cations. The stronger the polarizing power, the electronic cloud of anion will be distorted to greater extent. And on what factor the polarizing power of cation depends? That is the charge density. Greater the charge, greater will be the polarizing power. Greater the size, lesser would be the polarizing power. So polarizing power of a cation is directly proportional to the charge of the cation, and polarizing power on the cation is inversely proportional to the size. So these two factors are responsible for the polarizing power. The compound tends to be less thermally stable. When there will be polarization, when there will be distortion of the electronic cloud of the anion in due to this distortion, due to this polarization, the compound's thermal stability becomes less. As you can see that if the cation is small, then the polarizability of the cation will be higher, and in the case of large anion, the distortion of the electronic cloud takes place. The anion becomes polarized and it becomes easier to decompose this type of compound in which there is a small cation and a large anion. Trends of thermal stability of group 2 compounds. Down the group, the size of the cation it is increasing, so polarizing power it is decreasing. Compound with large anions they become more stable. Thermal stability of nitrates and carbonates of group 2 metal increases down the group. That is, it is harder to decompose them when we move down the group. That is, you can see that effect of the size of cations on thermal stability. If the cation is small, there will be greater polarization. You can see as the cation is larger, there will be less polarization. So in the case when there is a small cation, polarization will be higher and thermal stability will be less. But as we move down the group, the size of the cation it is increasing and thermal stability of the compounds it is increasing. Thermal stability of group 2 compounds. Now you can see the summary. Whatever we have discussed so far, when size of the cation increases, the charge density of the cation decreases, the polarizing power of the cation decreases, then the thermal stability increases, and as the thermal stability increases, the decomposition temperature it increases. Now we will discuss the thermal decomposition of group 2 carbonates. As you go down the group, the carbonates have to be heated more strongly before they will decompose. The reason is the same, that the thermal stability is increasing as we move down the group. The carbonates becomes more stable as to heat as you go down the group. Thermal decomposition in the case of carbonates will produce oxide and carbon dioxide gas. Thermal decomposition is the term given to splitting up of a compound by heating it. All of these carbonates are white solid and the oxides that are produced are also white solid. If X represents any one of the elements, like you can see X carbonate, it is a group 2 metal carbonate. It will produce an oxide and carbon dioxide gas on decomposition. The effect of heat on group 2 nitrates. As you go down the group, the nitrates also have to be heated more strongly before they will decompose. The nitrates also become more stable to heat as you go down the group. All the nitrates in this group undergo thermal decomposition to give the metal oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. The nitrates are white solids and the oxides produced are also white solids. Brown nitrogen dioxide gas is given off together with oxygen. Magnesium and calcium nitrates normally have water of crystallization, and the solid may dissolve in its own water of crystallization to make a colorless solution before it starts to decompose. Again, if X represents any one of the elements, so the group 2 nitrates, they undergo decomposition to produce oxide, the brown color NO2 gas and the oxygen gas. Thank you. That's all for today. Wish you all the best for today's lecture. Stay home, stay safe.